One of the many things that makes life so beautiful is that there are so many different things to be ashamed of. You could spend your entire life studying engineering and you probably still wouldn't know a single character of Chinese. Literally the second most spoken language in the world right now. Or you could spend your entire life learning Chinese, maybe even Cantonese, all the different dialects and multitudes that this language offers, and you still probably wouldn't know how the plane you're flying in works. There are so many things to be ashamed of, which is why you shouldn't be ashamed of anything in the first place. You'll never, this is just the truth. You can radically control your quality. You could learn another language. You can devote your life to a craft that really fits you. But the peak of quality, of knowledge, of philosophical perfection will never ever be able to be touched, grasped, maybe not even defined. There are so many different things that you need to do in order to become perfect. You can do all of them, even if you had 100 lives. You could study every single language of the world. This all of the 7,000 languages. And if somebody asked you the Pythagorean theorem, you could probably not even respond well to that, which is such an easy theorem to remember and so many people know it, just because you chose to master in something else. It's insane. It's insane how many things that you will never get to know. How many things that you will never get to know are. So many things that you can't even count on 1,000 fingers, on 1,000 hands. Sorry. Which is why you shouldn't try. Don't be ashamed that you don't speak French or Farsi or Romanian, or maybe even Spanish or Chinese or Hindi. Any of these very useful, big, maybe even easy to learn languages like Spanish or French. Don't be ashamed of not knowing a lot of math or not being the most polite person. You probably know a lot of things that most of the globe, at least 7.5 billion of the people that are living out of the 8 billion on Earth, do not know. You probably do know that and are in the top 0.0001% of people when it comes to one thing. Maybe when it comes to languages, maybe when it comes to engineering, but you'll probably be in the top with 0.01% when it comes to biochemical engineering. Because you probably, even if you devote your entire 90 years that you get of adult life at best to this field, you probably still won't know how, other things work related to engineering. There are so many things that you don't know, and so many things that you do know. It is insane. You shouldn't be ashamed. You shouldn't be ashamed. I'm gonna say it right here. You should be ashamed on a philosophical, on a base level. Yeah, you don't know French. That's a goddamn shameful thing. You don't know Spanish. That's shameful. You don't know Romanian. There's 20 million people speak it. 20 million people have an advantage over you. How dare you be this little cultured? But the people who speak Romanian, probably some of them, don't even speak English well. If you're really envious on people who, if you're really envious of people that speak Chinese, well, remember, most of them are in mainland China, and they probably don't speak English. Oh my god, 125 million people speak Japanese. What am I gonna do? You probably speak English better than them. You could probably learn French faster than them. Just because of a geographical reason. The language you were born with. Anybody could laugh at you based on something completely random. As I said, you could be a biochemical engineer and someone can literally say, you don't know Spanish. That is so shameful. That is so shameful. You haven't even taken the time to learn the easiest language that is also the most spoken that you can learn. How dare you? That's shameful. How dare you? Yeah, because you don't know Spanish because your context was different. If you ask a language learner, do you speak Spanish, and they say no, and they've been doing it for like 20 years, then yeah, it's shameful for them. But if you ask a med student if they speak Spanish, why the hell would they? They probably can give you a way better diagnosis of a random person that comes into their office than a Hispano-hablante, a person that speaks Spanish. So everything is relative. Anybody can make you feel ashamed of not having the skills or knowledge that you quote unquote should have. There are so many things to know, and you won't know the majority of them. You'll probably barely grasp 0.001% of those things that are worth learning and worth reading in the first place, worth watching, everything. You probably won't even touch the surface of it. You won't even, not that like you won't scrape it, you won't even touch it. You won't reach it. It's never going to be completely there, all knowledge. And based on what you choose, you're going to say no to something else. But by saying no to all of those little fun facts and knowledge that you could get by following a certain path, you say yes to something that hopefully is going to help you an infinite amount of times more. I'll see you later.